my name is Laura Cole. I'm a mezzo-soprano and voice teacher in the local Houston area. And I wanted to make a video on how to purposefully practice vocal technique, warm-ups, and repertoire. It seems like we tend to go into practicing and not have a clear idea of how we should structure our practice. So if we are mindful and goal-driven, we can achieve much more. So in this practice, you're going to see me going through my steps. I've been a professional singer for 10 years and a professional teacher for the same amount of time. And in that time, I've read a lot, I've experimented a lot, and this is what works for me. So the first thing I like to do is be aware of what my body and my mind is. Today, I'm a little tired. My neck is a little sore. So I just take that into account. I live with it and I try to work through it. And I start by warming up my body, rolling my head, trying to get the kinks out. I'm rolling my shoulders, trying to get those kinks out. We want to be as limber in our body as possible because we use our whole body to sing. So I want to do exercises that stretch my side body so I can fully expand. And when I breathe, I want to have as little tension as possible. So I'm going to do stretches that get me as loose. Yoga is very good to do before you sing. Some kind of physical activity, light exercise, cardiovascular exercise is very good right before to get the heart pumping. So I'm not going to go through my whole thing. I would do also, I can't do this one. Things that stretch out the hips, because the hips are connected to the jaw. If you're tight in your jaw, you're usually tight in your hips. So you can do things that stretch them out with the forward bend and releasing tension there and on both sides. Going through this kind of fast. You don't want to go fast though, you want to go at your own pace. And always breathing through it. Being aware of what is your body doing while you breathe, even in that moment. And then after I do a few of those, I sit and do a mindful meditation for maybe 3 to 5 minutes, really focusing on my breath. What is physically happening when I breathe? With a closed mouth at first, and then I could do an open mouth if I choose. But to try that for a second, you want to sitting tall and balanced. You're balanced between the occipital joint that is that first joint in your vertebrae, so that your head feels like it's almost floating on your neck. Then the rest of your spine will curve naturally underneath that. You should feel like you are supported by your spine, and that you are sitting on your sit bones. So if you're not sure about that, you can overarch your back, you can underarch it, and then find the balance. The things I'm referencing are from books I've read. Most recently is What Every Singer Needs to Know About the Body, and also The Naked Voice. 2 excellent resources. So this one is from What Every Singer Needs to Know About the Body to try to find balance and buoyancy. So once I've found that balance, then I can sit and start to breathe, knowing that when air comes into my mouth, it goes down my larynx, through my vocal folds will open, my lungs will expand, my chest cavity will expand, my diaphragm contracts, pulling my lungs down so I have more room. I'm aware that my ribs are supposed to expand upwards and outwards in all directions. My lower abdominals, side, front, back, are supposed to get out of the way, allowing the diaphragm to fully contract. So I like to think of it as I am expanding in all directions. I'm expanding out, back, front, sides. My rib cage is, higher ribs are expanding upwards as well as back. It's never isolated. And just finding that for a second with that balance, never tight. Allowing yourself to fully expand. And just observing the sensations and releasing it. And then I'll sit here for a few minutes with my eyes closed, just breathing, getting in touch with my body, getting in touch with my mind, trying to center my thoughts on what I want to achieve today in my practice. And it might be, I want to release tension. I want to flow the breath. I want to expand my range. Having at least one specific thought will give clear intention to your practice. And so this part of it, usually I take about 7 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. And that gets me in a clear state of mind and a balanced body so then I can start vocalizing. So now I'm going to go through my vocal practice. The exercises are up to you and your teacher. These are the ones I do for myself. They've always been helpful, but they do have a purpose. They are there to make sure I'm phonating clearly, I'm singing clearly throughout my entire range. High, middle, and low. My breath is always flowing. I'm always vibrating. I am checking for tension in my jaw, in my tongue, in my neck. I am checking for vowel formation. Am I clear? I'm checking that the resonant space in the back is open all the time and I'm not obstructing anything. Think of a warm-up as sort of a checklist for preparation of sound. Am I preparing my instrument to the best of my ability and then executing that preparation? And if not, then you adjust. So these are just a few of my exercises. I'm starting on a D major scale, descending, 5-note, on an ooh, because ooh is nice and focused in the front, and it's big in the back, and it's just about airflow. Excuse me, I do ooh-ee. Go from very round to relaxed lips. So there I had a break in my voice. Now I could say, I hate that. Why do I have a break? No. Instead I say, okay, what could I do to make that break more smooth? I could engage the body more. I can fully expand the breath more. I could create more space so that that break is not as noticeable. So we're going to try that. Where was I? About right there. To start in the middle and take myself all the way down. So I'm going through primo passaggio, working through that break, making sure I'm still creating a tall pharyngeal space and coming at the sound from a place of height and angle. So I'm never compressing my lower chest voice. I'm always tall and flowing. And it's also just nice and warm and easy, especially if it's early in the morning. And then I will start from where I stopped and go the other direction. But I'm not going to do that one for right now. Let's say I did that and I can take myself all the way up and letting this shift happen at primo passaggio and above. So then another exercise I might do, starting about here, a D major again. I like D major. This one's a little more weaving on A, ah. So this is a nice sequence. You're changing vowels, but you're only changing it with a little bit of tongue adjustment. No jaw, no lips. And it's, again, all about airflow. So finding your balance, again, especially if you've been moving around trying to find the keys, the correct pitches you want, and you've been trying to adjust yourself. Go back to a place of stillness. Always finding that balance over your neck. And then you can begin. So what am I judging here? I'm judging evenness of sound. Is it as fluid and legato as it could possibly be? Does it feel easy? Can I go through the different vowels and the different pitches without feeling like I have to adjust? For myself personally, I feel like I could do that better. I could be freer. It could be more released. So let's see if we can achieve that with a thought. By thinking I'm not going to be involved in my jaw at all. And again, I'm going to create more room, more expansion, more height in my space, and also thinking that the vowel is in front at a point, like it's almost not in my body at all, it's out here. This happens before sound leaves my body. What about that? I'm on G major. I did not love the first note. They're kind of clunky. So that means I need to think for myself. More stretch, more expansion, more up and over to a point. Secondo passaggio, round about F5. For me, that's B flat major. And when you get up there, things might feel like, oh, I'm shifting again, and it's weird, and it's going to constrict. That's because you're going through another passage. Allow that air to go super fast and super spinning. Keep yourself open. Resist the urge to constrict at all. Always flow. I'm going to go down a step, see if I can help myself a little bit. Keep going up and up and up and up like that. Always observing and judging after I sing. This is a very crucial thing. You cannot judge and try to adjust that much when you are in the moment, because you're just going to sabotage yourself. Sing through the phrase, totally release it. Then when you're done, analyze what you did, if you can remember. If not, record yourself and then look back. Now, let's do something where I move a little bit. And going back down to primo passaggio. So this is on E, and then on a 5-note scale, and on the last note, I go to A, Ah. This is going to help me shift into chest voice without collapsing anything, and just minute adjustments of the tongue. Clunky. Didn't like the clunky. So what can I do? Prepare more space, prepare more air, flow and don't try to stop myself. So where was that? B flat. I'm going to do one more where I go up fast and high. Now we'll start on about C sharp. This one is going between E and A, fast triplets. Again, it's about airflow, it's about minute adjustments of the tongue for the vowels, and it's about getting out of the way. It's kind of the rhythm and the speed. Do not have time to micromanage on these small things, on these fast, small notes. So you gotta flow. That one I felt I wasn't totally centered the whole time. So I'm gonna work on my expansion and my flow, making sure that that first note is completely centered. If that first tone is not fully centered, you're going to have to struggle to find your way into it. So be centered to begin with. Myself, it's not bad. I still feel like my first E's are a little hard, a little driven. So can I will myself to prepare, release without any holding on? This is hard because we want to sound perfect and we don't want to embarrass ourselves. So we need to say, it's going to be okay if I mess up. Nothing horrible is going to happen if I prepare myself to the best of my ability, which means I'm balanced over my spine. I am fully engaging in the breath. That means allowing my ribs to expand, allowing my diaphragm to contract. That means that these lower abdominal, side, back, pelvis muscles are getting out of the way. I'm allowing my jaw to be fully released as I breathe. I'm allowing the space in the back of my throat, that's soft palate, round uvular area, to expand like I'm almost about to yawn. I'm allowing my tongue to be in the position it needs to be for the vowel. So right now it's an E. So I'm kind of in an E position. And I'm thinking the pitch. I should be able to release. This is something I do a lot for myself and for my students, and I have everyone prepare for the first intonation, but we don't actually sing. You go through all the steps so that you're sensing it and you're feeling it, like it wants to be released. That's a really good practice for being mindful how to sing. So now we're going to try it. Where am I? Let's go back down a little bit. I'm squeezing a little bit. Could be I'm hungry. Could be I'm nervous about trying to do this correct. So when you feel like things are just not working, no matter what you do, you put it away. You leave that for the moment instead of beating yourself up and doing it over and over and over again and it's not working. So now the last thing I might do is just a nice sigh to go through my entire range. going up and down. That's a really nice one for airflow, for feeling balanced. You're going through each passage without constricting, and it's just minute adjustments of the tongue and the lips for the change in the vowel. So, I've been talking a lot, so we're not quite sure how long that took, but my usual warm-up routine is no more than 15 to 20 minutes. So really singing is about 10 to 12 minutes. That's all you need. If you do more than that, you're gonna risk tiring yourself out, and you don't want to leave everything in the warm-up before you rep. That's all for this one right now. Thank you so much. I hope this has been helpful.